Hi golfers, Nick here for Untitled Golf. It's Friday, so welcome to another lesson on golf tips. This week on golf tips, I'm going to help you golfers out there that struggle with slicing the golf ball, swinging out to in, and creating speed in the golf swing. So in today's video, we're going to talk about the sequencing movements in the golf swing using the driver to help you swing from the inside to out and create more power. As we go through this video, guys, we're going to be looking at some data that we get from the driver. Also, we're looking at some videos from the side view and from the face-on camera as I talk you through this video. So one of the biggest issues I see with driver that robs golfers of speed are them swinging from out to in and quite steep into the golf ball. And one of the reasons golfers do this is because from the top of their backswing, their whole life, they're told to turn in the downswing. And you hear this a lot. Golfers, they're trying to create speed and they're trying to rotate, and definitely when you look at the best players in the world, they have rotation of their body for sure, and I'm not denying that. It's just that some golfers take this too much to the extreme and they don't have a combination or a sequencing of movements in their swing. So the best golfers will rotate for sure in the downswing, but they'll also have a combination of moving their sway or their hip sway towards the target, tilting their shoulder, and also they'll be using their arms to swing around and across their body as well. So their hands are constantly moving around their body. Their left arm is moving across their chest in the downswing and into the finish. So there's a combination of movements, whereas I see a lot of golfers, they get to the top and they just turn. And first of all, we're going to talk about the problems with just turning from the top. Now, like I said, I'm not denying that the best players don't turn. It's just that sometimes you sequence those movements maybe in the wrong way. So if I make my kind of normal backswing here, and then from the top of the swing, I'm just going to turn. So that's me just going to the top of my backswing in a normal way, and then get from there, I'm just going to start turning. Now, as we go through this video, we're going to see some club data here. So my swing path on that shot there was 3 degrees out to in. You can see I hit that slightly out the heel. My swing path was about 104 miles an hour, so a little bit short for me. Now, in today's video, I'm going to show you kind of a way that you can kind of practice this to kind of sequence your movements a lot better. Now, when you take a look at that video there from both viewpoints, you'll see that as I get to the top, kind of my normal backswing, but as soon as I start down, I'm turning, rotating a lot more, takes that path more outside. In some cases, it does lead to someone to start hitting down on the golf ball and potentially not creating the right launch on the golf ball, have too much spin, and basically just robs that potential golfer of distance. So swinging out to in with a driver is not really encouraged really for if you want to create speed and distance. Now, in today's video, we're going to talk about kind of drill first of all and how you can kind of sequence this up. And as we go through here, what I'm going to try and do on these next few swings here is just swing just with my arms. Really going to feel like from the top of my swing here, I'm moving my arms a lot quicker as I start down and across my body without turning. Now I will turn, it's inevitable, so I will turn, every golfer will turn, but I'm going to try and reverse the principle here of just turning in the downswing. So by the time I finish the swing, I'm going to be turned about 90 degrees. Remember, this is a drill, right? In that first swing there, I was rotated round way past probably 150, 160 degrees in the finish. So this one I'm going to turn to about 90 in the finish. Remember, this is a drill. So same backswing, but I'm just going to stop on the follow through. I'm really going to feel my arms, hands working in the downswing here. I'm still pushing my hips forward as I do this. You'll see this on the video here, but basically I'm not going to turn or feel like I'm not going to turn as I get through to the finish. So I really delayed my turn as I came through. I still turned, like I said. Really felt like I moved my hips forward there. Now, interesting, we saw the club path and the other one was about 3 degrees out to in. So this time 2.4 degrees into out. Speed there up to 110.6, so 111 miles an hour. So more speed, more inside. So from the top there, as I got to the top, I kind of felt like I just moved my arms across my body, pushed my hips forward. Now, what you'll see, I'm going to play the videos out so you can see, but you'll see from the top I will have inevitably a hip sway, and that's important because what I'm doing here is I'm tilting my shoulders as I come down. So this combination here of kind of swaying and tilting the right shoulder keeps the path on the inside, plus with swinging my arms faster, it's stopping me from over rotating. Now, like I said, from the top of the swing, players that turn too much, this right shoulder comes over and they just start to swing that club out to in, robs them of distance. So basically there I just try to do the opposite. I try to get to the top and drop the right shoulder, swing the arms faster as I came down, push the hips forward, and then stop on the finish. So if I can get 111 miles an hour with, in my theory, in my head there, basically I had no rotation or no turn, certainly less than I would normally do, certainly I can build up. So that's a good way to practice. Just swinging through, short finish, pushing the hips forward, swinging the arms faster. It's a really good way for you guys to practice. Now, this next one here, I'm going to try and combine those movements. So now I'm going to try and turn and swing the arms faster and tilt the right shoulder and kind of have my normal finish here. So it's kind of my normal swing now, combining kind of all of those movements. So I tried to combine those movements there of turning, tilting, moving my arms faster, and I swung a bit straighter into the ball there. So, and that's what you'll tend to find is that, so that path there's 1.4 into out, 111.4, so about a mile an hour faster when I tried to combine those movements. So it's quite interesting, right? As soon as I started to kind of sequence that movements and kind of felt like I'm a normal finish, I got slightly more speed, which is kind of what you would expect. But the interesting thing was that I managed to get quite a lot of speed and I didn't really turn in the finish. And I think that a lot of you golfers can learn a lot from that. Now, it's not just about the rotation, it's also about the swing path. Like I said, once you get to the top of your swing, the more you just rotate your body, and even in some cases I see golfers kind of lean their head forward, it starts to create a steeper angle attack, path starts to move outside to in, creates too much speed, just really robs that golfer of distance. So if you can get to the top of your swing, keep your head back, push your hips forward, tilt your right shoulder down, swing the arms faster with less turn, that's a good way to kind of practice these kind of sequencing of movements. Now, sometimes when I practice or teach golfers here, we don't always go full out swings when you practice, because when you practice you're trying to implement a new feel, a new sensation into the swing, especially when you're trying to sequence a certain move. So I was kind of surprised a little bit with those results. I kind of had an expectation. I knew that the turning would create more out to in. I knew the no turn would be the most into out, and we definitely saw that. But it's interesting how the speed wasn't that much faster in that last swing where I tried to sequence everything together. Now, imagine if I hit 10 shots, you might see more of a gap in the distance. But the key thing is, guys, that you get the power here really from the arms and tilting and pushing the hips forward. It doesn't always just come from the rotation. So hopefully, guys, you found that video helpful and interesting. I think it's important that you experiment for yourself, and certainly if you're struggling with slicing, certainly try and work on that movement of not turning in the finish, tilting the shoulder. I think that would really help. So I'm interested to hear your comments on that. So thanks for watching, golfers. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you don't already, please follow me on my other social media platforms, and I'll see you again next week for another video.